All right, guys, it's true. Packmaster Shayek's dog is coming to the game. The legendary dog right here. We have the little turnaround thing of him. It looks pretty cool, but we've already seen spoilers for this champion. So let's take a look at when the fusion's going to start and then look at his skills. Also, guys, I'm probably live on YouTube and Twitch when you're watching this. Probably going to be playing some Godforge soon after you finish this video. So let's jump over there and check it out. Next Monday, July 28th, we're planning to launch a champion fragment event for a new champion, Krokad the Throat Ripper. The faction is Orcs, rarity, legendary, type, attack, affinity, magic. This is a champion fragment event, so it's not a collect the pieces for the fusion, fuse it. It's just collect the fragments and then fuse it. And you could technically purchase some more fragments at the end, and you could save them for champion chase events to get some more points then. Do you hear the howling in the distance? A new beast joins the hunt. Krokad the Throat Ripper is the latest addition to Packmaster Shayek's fearsome pack, a loyal hound eager to tear into PvE battles, and especially ruthless against the Hydra. You guys let me know down below, do we need more Hydra champions? I guess it makes sense since Packmaster was kind of a Hydra champion in himself, so I guess it makes sense that his dog is also a Hydra champion. When fighting alongside their master, Krokad's morals and skills are boosted even further, unlocking their full potential. Let's take a look at what his skills are. And I'll move myself in case you guys want to just screenshot this. You don't have to worry about my big head being in the way. So his A1 ability, attacks all enemies. This attack deals single target damage to each target individually rather than AoE damage, and will ignore reflect damage, pain link, and ally protection buffs. This is really cool. This attack also deals double damage when counterattacking if Packmaster Shayek is on the same team. This is interesting because Packmaster, assuming this dog is going to be added into Packmaster's list of dogs, I don't know why he wouldn't be, Packmaster will have the dogs counterattack whenever he's hit by an enemy under Hex anyways, and that should be a double hit there. So we're going to have a lot of attacks coming from this A1 ability, which it is going to be single target damage, which doesn't allow for Slayer to proc, but it does allow for more damage to be shared through the Hex targets. In case you didn't know, Hex, the damage shared is higher from single target abilities versus AoE abilities. This could be amazing, but it really comes down to multipliers. How are his skills going to scale? Is it going to be worth it? Let's take a look at his A2. His A2 attacks all enemies, places an extra hit on enemies under 2 or more debuffs, very easy condition to meet, has a 75% chance, books up to 100% chance, I believe, 70, 80, yeah, 100% chance of placing Leech and Weaken for 2 turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted if Packmaster is on the team. So Packmaster brings a decreased defense, but it's not going to be AoE, so you'll still need a decreased defense, but he does have the block buffs covered, which is awesome. Now, with this dog, we have Leech plus Weaken, so bring in 2 very impactful Hydra debuffs, and they're going to last for 2 turns. They can't be resisted if Packmaster is on the same team, which is great because you're not going to want to build a champion like this for accuracy if you don't have to, right? Just put as much damage possible into him. The extra hit is going to be a condition that happens very often as well, and this could be triggered by Slayer, but you're not going to build him with Slayer. Then his A3 is attacks one enemy, will ignore 50% of the target's defense as well as life barrier and poison cloud buffs, and effects that redirect attacks. So I guess the Head of Mischief, damage or debuffs, so like Pain Link possibly, or debuffs to another target. Repeats this attack once if Packmaster is on the team. So basically, this dog is going to get a lot of value, of course, if Packmaster is on the same team. This is the only dog that I would run with Packmaster. The others are just kind of cool to run, but they're not really going to do that much. This dog, on the other hand, seems like he could do a lot if his damage is good, because you got to remember, right now in Hydra, a lot of players, since we have Titus just, flooded into the ecosystem, which is good. I mean, I like more champions being competitive with Trunda, and Titus is that. But if this champion's not doing that much, well, he's not really competing with Titus, which is okay. This is a easier condition to meet because Shayek was, I think, a more recent fusion. But if you don't have Shayek, you're going to have a similar situation where you don't have Wixwell and you do have Titus, and you can't really run the Titus team. However, this champion could still do good without Shayek if his damage is nice. So he's ignoring Life Barrier and Poison Cloud. It's going to be a huge difference with and without Packmaster, though. Like, you're missing the extra hit on the A3. You're missing the attacks again on the A2, extra hit on the A2, and then you're missing the double damage on the A1. So basically, you're getting half the damage flat out if you don't have Shayak on the same team. But not only that, his passive is going to be basically cut in half. Increases his champion's attack by 5% when killing an enemy or decapitating a Hydra head. Stacks up to 25%. Increases his champion's attack by 10% when killing an enemy or decapitating a Hydra head instead if Packmaster is on the same team, up to 50%. Instantly activates the Dominant Predator skill against a Hydra head when an ally is consumed by that head if Packmaster is on the team. The Dominant Predator skill is what's going to ignore Life Barrier and Poison Clouds and all that kind of stuff. So basically, if he hits hard, he has a chance to just instantly free somebody from the Hydra stuff. It would be really cool if they reintroduced Packmaster as like a champion training prize or a prize somewhere so the players who don't have Packmaster could get him. I think this champion looks honestly awesome, but I want to be careful with how excited I get for him for basically full auto Hydra teams. Champions like this aren't for pushing crazy high damage because when you have things like Titus and Trunda, it's just not going to happen. Unless something here scales off of max HP, which it could. That would be pretty insane. I got a feeling it's not going to, though. But imagine if this scaled off of enemy HP. If this scaled off of max HP, it'd be amazing. You'd be doing so much damage. AoE, extra hit. So AoE double hit, basically a Chrysia on that A2 ability. Placing debuffs as well. And then all of a sudden he becomes a champion. Okay, you can fit into teams with or without Packmaster. But I got a feeling this is just a regular scaling ability, which may be fine as well. It just means you have to gear higher and you could hit more than the max HP cap, right? But this dude seems awesome. We have an ally aura in all battles by 30%. He may do stuff in arena because we do have the ignoring defense on the A3 ability. But unless you have Packmaster in your arena team, which most likely you're not going to, he could kind of be a Terminator boost champion, but you're most likely not going to have him there. Probably just in Hydra. This is going to be a very good full auto Hydra champion, even if his damage is kind of middle of the road. You are still going to need your increased speed, decreased speed debuffs, but champions like Necmo could bring that no problem. So I do think he's going to give you access to higher levels of Hydra if you already have Shayak. Shayak brings the shield. He brings several things, but the biggest thing is the block buffs, the effects when they have Hex on them, and he is not a bad champion. He is not great by himself, but with this dog, the dog is tons of value. So it actually makes sense. I wish it was released a long time ago, and I would like for them to release him as, a champion where you could get from somewhere, like maybe a champion chase tournament, maybe a champion training tournament, maybe something. Bring him back so you could get him, even though I don't think he's not nearly as good as Wixwell. Wixwell Titus, much, much better. But a champion who so heavily ties into each other, unlike Wixwell Titus, they're not built-in synergy. They were just found out to be great together. Pretty obvious, but these two are literally partner champions. So it'd be cool if they gave him as an opportunity to recollect him, basically. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this champion. Once again, with damage dealers, it all comes down to what are the multipliers. Is he going to hit hard? If he hits hard, this is a really good champion. If he hits like a wet noodle, well, then we're not going to be using Shayak or the dog, basically. But I guess we'll have to wait and see whenever we get on the test server how this dog actually performs. But I am glad to see this thing finally released into the game after it's been, I think, like a year or so waiting for this daggone dog to come to the game. Wallmaster in the shop, maybe the dog's A2 ability is scaling off of max HP. I believe they usually include that though, so I really doubt that's going to be the case. But let me know down below your thoughts. Do you think we need more Hydra champions, or do you think we need champions who are good for other areas? He is an Orc champion though, which could help you out in Orc Faction Wars. Orc Faction Wars is a pretty difficult one, so having an AoE damage dealer is nice. Until, of course, you get to the stage where you can't land any weak hits, and then this is the worst thing imaginable for you. But either way, guys, thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that little news update there. Stay tuned for the Clan Siege video coming tomorrow, as well as the Godforge stream happening most likely while you're watching this video. Just alpha access, but we're going to take a look and check it out. Thank you guys. I'll catch you later.